EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Western Pennsylvania and Heinz Field in the Steel City of Pittsburgh. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line with the Miami Dolphins. This is Kenyon Drake, the fourth-year man from Alabama. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Well, Kenyon Drake, he was kind of underutilized last year when Adam Gase was head coach, only 7 starts. But now he's going to get a chance under new head coach Brian Flores to really showcase his talent. He certainly flashed his diverse playmaking abilities a season ago. 9 touchdowns, 5 through the air, and 4 on the ground. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Well, just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Only a yard on the 3rd down throw, and that leads to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his 2nd season. James Conner gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here we go. 8, read. Get it. Go.
Back to throw, Rudolph. He'll dump this one off to Conner. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short. Blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Rudolph. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run here with Conner. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll get nothing out of the completion there, and it leads to a 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
On fourth down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. As Miami's offense takes the field again here, let's assess where they're at right now. Everybody knows it's been a struggle this year at 0-6, most recently the loss to Buffalo. And they did an about-face with their quarterback situation. For those scoring at home this year, it's been Fitzpatrick, Rosen, and now back to Fitzpatrick and 0-6, and things are not good in Miami.
Yeah, and that was 0-6 after the loss in Buffalo. But frankly, one of their better games, if you call a 10-point loss a better game. In fact, the Buffalo fans thought they would blow out Miami, so they booed the Bills off the field at halftime. What was it, 14-9? They were not happy at all. But a late touchdown return of an onside kick made the final score a little bit misleading. One thing about these Dolphins under head coach Brian Flores, they're not very talented, but they do play hard.
You're wondering, though, where does that win come from? The next few weeks at Pittsburgh on a Monday night, home for the Jets. That might be it. At Indy, and then home for Buffalo. 7 yards there and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with a second-year man from ASU, Kalen Ballage. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. No score after 1 on EA Sports. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got it 2nd down and 11.
Mike, 5-5. White 80! Stay with your man.
On 2nd and 11 now. Fitzpatrick. It's complete to Drake. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that will go out of the back of the end zone. Way too much mustard. Not a good punt, and it will come out to the 20. And now out come the Steelers. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10 at the 20. Out of the gun, Rudolph. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, Charles, switching gears on a bit of a sad note. On Tuesday, October 22nd, Willie Brown passed away. Willie Brown, 16 seasons in the NFL. First 4 for the Broncos, and then the final 12 as an Oakland Raider.
Man, just think about his career. Hall of Fame 1984, 9-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro. And let's face it, the lasting image we'll have of him as a player, that interception of Fran Tarkenton in the Super Bowl. The old man, Willie Brown, taking it all the way back, 75 yards against the Vikings for a touchdown. The Raiders won Super Bowl 11. I had the pleasure of getting to know Willie Brown over the years. And when I tried out for the Dallas Cowboys, we scrimmaged the Raiders at one point. And Willie Brown came over to me and had some nice things to say to me, which was really pretty cool coming from a man of his stature and a man of his ability, and I'll treasure those nice words forever.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. He was looking for Parker that time, and that'll bring up second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On second down, it's Drake. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. Right now in the second quarter on the defensive side, they got to feel pretty good about what they're doing.
They should embrace the feeling they have now, embrace the way that they're playing, and continue that through the half. I know defensive coordinators, sometimes they overthink it, start wondering how they're going to be attacked. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21.
On plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Running to start the drive is Samuels. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Yeah, baby, yeah! Ready, ready! 55 to Mike. Check, 55 to Mike. Watch the run, watch the run. Ready, ready!
On second and 11 now. Rudolph. Open man is Switzer, complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And he finds McDonald. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Johnson's got it complete.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. Back to the air, Rudolph. This is Johnson. He's got it. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This quarterback now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Rudolph going to throw again. To Connor on the check down. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This quarterback now, only 1 pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Rudolph throwing again. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. They'll get this out in a hurry to Parker. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, this is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight, maybe not this tight, scoreless as we start the 3rd quarter.
And I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it in a little bit different direction here because it's not just tight on the scoreboard. I think both offenses have been tight in how they've played this game. No one's been loose. No one's been free. They've got to find a way to make some plays, and I don't think you do it if you're really tight in everything that you're doing in the game.
It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware, a ball may come your way.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Rudolph looking to throw it, and that is incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and it's 3rd down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Here's Rudolph, and yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield, and this is picked up by the Dolphins. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And once again, the Dolphin defense holds firm as they'll stop him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they got the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
Rudolph looking to throw, and that will be incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open, and when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says.
Let's go. Let's do it.
He says out at the 8-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Off the play fake here, Fitzpatrick. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Counter play, Drake. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. The catches like that, that's what the Dolphins envisioned when they took Gesicki high in the 2nd round a season ago. He did have 22 catches as a rookie, but did not find the end zone. Certainly feels more comfortable wearing number 88, his old college number, after sporting 86 as a rookie. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And his throw here's incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Running from the shotgun with Drake. And he goes out right around the 39. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
3rd and short yardage, Fitzpatrick. And oh, he coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Hey, here we go.
They go draw play. This is Samuels. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
That's what I'm talking about.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Come on, set, 50, plant. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Get it. Get up.
On 2nd and 9, Rudolph. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. And McDonald here over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks. What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Now this throw complete to Washington, and he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. They'll try and run forward with Connor. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They'll run here with Connor. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario,
and caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Deontay Johnson there to make the grab. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter.
hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Fitzpatrick and the Dolphins now down 7-0. A minute 53 remaining. They need a touchdown and the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10.
Like 20! Hey, 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 hey!
Now Fitzpatrick. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go. Here's Fitzpatrick. Well, he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So now after the sack, 3rd and long, and Fitzpatrick and company a little work to do. Back to throw. And Wilson has it. The 40, the 20, 10, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Albert Wilson, 73 yards, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for two here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeouts.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. Looking to throw again on second down. Rudolph. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
They're probably about one big play from getting into field goal range. I'd go with a 2-deep coverage. Make sure my safeties are back to cover all of the field deep.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Rudolph now to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And that'll bring up second down. This entire defensive unit, Charles, they've really put in a good shift tonight, so to speak.
I like how you phrased that. This has been a good shift. They punched the clock the entire evening. They ought to have shirts that have their names on them in the front to let them know these are blue-collar workers who are getting it done.
Over the middle, complete. It's McDonald. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Rudolph. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And not what he was hoping for there as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
It's easy work, and it's coming again.
Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3.
It's just me and you.
From the gun, here's Rudolph. Open man, it's MNF. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. He did not have a catch till that moment. Pretty good time for his first one, though, here in OT.
I would agree with that. And just think about how they had to cycle through all the play sheets, right? Tried to find ways to get a lot of people the football. In this case, as you said, he hadn't had a catch all game. Now they find him in a key moment. Really well done.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone, all right? You don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to him.
And now this first drive in OT continues. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now it's Rudolph, and that's incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. Now the first throw in overtime for Fitzpatrick. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down now. It's Drake trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. This defense, tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the 2nd level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. They go play action. Fitzpatrick. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Switzer on the return. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On first down, Connor plowing ahead for about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored, that's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickeled and dimed down the field.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's Jordan Berry now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he gets this up just shy of the 15.
Let's go.
And now with 6 seconds left in overtime, they're going to take a timeout. And out come the Dolphins now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Fitzpatrick. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. 1 overtime. How about 2? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that 2nd overtime in just a moment. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And he hits Drake. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Here we go. 15 line. 15 line. Fellas, let's set a tone.
Out of the gun, Rudolph. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one, maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
They'll start the drive with Drake. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
They've got to do a better job up front and create some space because they're right there, almost literally on their own goal line.
Just a couple of feet away from a safety. That could have been disastrous. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Balaj. And he'll find a little space. He gets this up near the 10. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Fitzpatrick from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. I know they may want to go for this, but the smart play probably to punt it, even given the field position, right?
In a sense, you honor what they've done all game. And this is a defense that's held the score down, kept it tight, kept you right in it, and they're really jonesing for one more shot. Give it to them. Let them play defense for you and give you a better chance to win the game.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Here's Switzer. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And credit the tackle to Taco Charlton with a stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here we go. Come. Now.
From the 41, Rudolph toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd and 5.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Here's Rudolph. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
70, Indy. Here we go, D. Here I come again.
On 2nd down, Samuels. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 11 yards there, first down. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. This to win it in overtime. And this is no good. Close but no cigar, just wide right. And we will play on here in overtime. So the OT clock hit 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Play fake. It's Fitzpatrick. Completes it to Hearns. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? And the Steelers signal for another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So it all rests now on the right foot of Jason Sanders. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance out field goals from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder, A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time.